Okay, so my GLP partner couldn't be in the video, and so I'm just going to reiterate everything that they said. So, the first question was how I felt before, during, and after the interaction, and we had essentially the same answers. I said that before the interaction, I was really nervous, but I was excited to learn more about her culture and everything that went on when she was growing up and how it compared to mine and contrasted to mine. And then during, I was really interested in everything she was saying. It felt like more like a conversation than I had expected it to. I kind of expected it to feel like more of an interview. And then after, I'm really happy I got to learn about the culture, and I really didn't know much about it, so it feels good to feel more informed. She said mostly the same things, but she also was wondering if our experiences would be more similar or different. She said she had talked to some of her friends and learned some of the things from them, but she didn't really get to talk in depth with them, so she was interested to learn more deeply about my elementary, middle school. During, she said that she was surprised by some of what I told her because she didn't know about it before. And after, she said she felt very much the same that I felt, and she was like happy that she got to understand everything better because she felt like she had a better understanding of the culture she was now living in. The next question was something I thought differently about after the interaction. She also had the same answer as I did. I said that prior to talking to her, I thought it was like really, really different than here. But after talking to her, I found that there were so many similarities between our cultures that I just hadn't taken the time to realize before. Some of the things that I thought were really interesting, and so did she, is that we had like a lot of the same hobbies, and that we also were talking about standardized tests a lot, and like our ACT was very similar to some of the standardized tests they had over there, but they were different because they had different like outcomes of what happened in your life based off of how you did and things like that. So it was interesting seeing how our lives compared and contrasted. The next question was something I learned about myself. I think it was obvious that I learned that I didn't really go out of my way a lot to learn more about different cultures or different people's experiences growing up, that I kind of just assumed they were either very similar or very different from mine and didn't really learn more about them. So I thought that I really enjoyed learning more about them and being given the chance to like expand my knowledge on different people's upbringings. And I liked being able to give her the chance to explain something that was really important to her, how she grew up, because she said that she had never really gotten the experience of sharing her upbringing even with her friends. So I liked giving her that opportunity. I realized that I really liked learning about it because it felt, as I said, very natural. It like wasn't forced, and I felt like interested in it the entire time. So it made me want to do this more often. And then as an MSU student, I think that I'll really try and understand that although we're all here now, everyone came from like a really different place, and that really affects how you are now. So like we should of course recognize that, but then at the same time, like there are so many similarities that we might not realize between other students that we feel so different from, and that we can be connected through those. So I'll really go out of my way to like learn more about these and also feel more connected to people through these differences and similarities. My student agreed with me and said that she really thought that it would be a lot different than it was, and that she was really intrigued that we had such similar upbringings being like across the entire world. So she thought that as a student as well, she was going to go out of her way to realize that we have a lot of similarities between us and that we can really use those to our advantage, but also to celebrate the differences that we have and like be able to utilize all the differences we have in our personalities from that. The experience I thought would really affect me as an educator, because going into a school, there's going to be so many kids with different upbringings and different ways of life, and being able to celebrate those and teach them to other students will help them in the future be more accepting students, and also it will really help them learn more. They'll be more knowledgeable about different places in the world and different ways of life because they got to experience it so much as young kids. Overall, I thought it was a really rewarding experience. I really liked being able to hear all the differences and similarities that we had in our upbringings and our education, and I think it'll really push me to go out of my way more to learn more about other cultures and not always assume that we're either so different or so similar, because there are so many different factors to how someone grows up, and it can really impact their education, which will also really help me as an educator understand where my students are coming from and how I can help them better understand and learn about their culture and other cultures.